before we get into it, you have been to a very memorable SNL show.
Yes, man, how many years ago was that? I think I was at Wise when I went to that one. I,
2004.
yeah, it was the Jude Law and Ashley Simpson one. That was
And
one of two SNLs that I've been to.
ruined her career.
The one that ruined her, well, she ruined her own
Well,
career.
true,
It was not SNL,
true.
but that was one of the coolest experiences of my entire life. And to see something like that is just absolutely
Now,
amazing.
do you want to tell the audience what occurred, just in case they don't remember?
That was the episode where Ashley Simpson was having voice issues. I think she had a scratchy voice. So they played a tape instead of a tape. They played a CD instead
Milli
of
Vanilli
her
style.
vocals.
Right.
Yes. And what happened was for the second song, they started the wrong tape, the wrong CD or whatever. They played the first song, which was, what was her first song?
Was it the
Pieces of Me.
Pieces of
Yeah.
Me?
So they played that one. So the vocals of that one went over top of the band who was playing live, and she just wanders off stage.
She had no idea how to handle that. Now, what did the audience think when that happened?
Oh, it was just complete shock. Like, it was just like, is this supposed to happen? Like, it was just complete, like, was it scripted? Like, it was complete shock. Nobody knew
Now,
really
if
what
she
to
would have been
do.
smart about it, she should have played it off as if it were scripted.
Yeah, exactly. If she was a seasoned veteran, somebody who had to deal with the nightclubs and all that stuff, but she was one of those people that rode somebody else's coattails to get where she was, and so she didn't know how to do it. She didn't know how to handle it. And then I remember afterwards, I think she sang the national anthem, or she played halftime at the Rose Bowl or the Orange Bowl or something like that,
Yeah,
and she got booed the entire performance. And you're talking
really.
like 70, 80,000 people there just
Wow.
booing her. It was so bad. But
Wow.
yeah, so that was my experience.
Was that the only time that you got to go to the show?
I went a few years later with Scarlett Johansson and Death Cab for Cutie. And then a
Oh,
few years after that, I got Seth Rogen, and I don't know who the host was, but we couldn't make it up there. And so I got it 3 times in maybe 5 years
wow.
and never gotten it since. And I try
Wow.
every year. Never gotten it since.
Wow. And you kind of like like a raffle or something, and they just how do they
Yeah,
do it? You just sign
in
up or something?
in August you sign up for the raffle, and then they just randomly select you,
Okay.
and you get to go. So we went twice. One of them was close to Christmas, and one of them was like just inside the new year.
Right. Okay.
So, but it was really cool. It was cool because one of the cool things was there was a Jude Law sketch that got cut because yeah, they had one that got cut that was picked up by who was it? Steve the Skeeve. I forget who ended up coming in for that. Maybe it's Hugh Jackman or something. But anyway, it was cool. But it was so cool because like it's just like the chaos is kind of happening all around, and like it's completely live, and Scarlett Johansson's shorter than she looks on TV. And no, the cool thing about the Ashley Simpson thing was the next morning we were at Penn Station waiting on the train, and Maya Rudolph, my sister went to get a magazine for the train, and she came back and she goes, Maya Rudolph's in the magazine store. Go now, go now, go now. So I like left. I went in there, and of course there's TVs everywhere, and they're all playing
Right.
stuff. So I see Maya Rudolph, and she's like checking out, and I'm standing there right beside her. But then she's like freezes. She stops and looks up at the TV, and it is a replay from the performance last night, or the lack thereof performance
Right.
last night. And I'm looking between, and you can see this in the closing credits, between Ashley Simpson and Jude Law is Maya Rudolph's face right in the middle. And I'm like sitting there looking at the TV, and then I look over and there's Maya Rudolph standing right beside me. And I'm like, what is this world that I live in, and how do I get into this world?
How do you get into it and stay in it?
Exactly. And then Maya Rudolph left, and that was
Wow.
it. It was
Wow.
insane. It was insane. But anyway,
Crazy.
yeah. All right. So list worst.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. What was the first category that you were going to
Worst.
worst? Okay.
Worst. Okay, so I put in here two. The first one is Colin Quinn. Not a fan of Colin Quinn. Colin Quinn plays like he played a lion, like a friendly lion character on Weekend Update one time. By far the best character he's ever done. Everything else was the same exact thing over and over again.
Yeah, I
And then
didn't think
the other one,
Colin Quinn's not a good fit for SNL. I don't think at
he
all.
wasn't a good Weekend Update either. I think he was one of the worst
Yeah,
anchors of Weekend Update, but the absolute worst
I think I know who you
Weekend
might say.
Updater and cast member of all time is Norm Macdonald.
I knew you would say.
Oh, he's so bad.
I remember you telling me. Now, do you like him at all on anything, or just terrible for SNL?
I liked him. He would do Bob Dole. I thought he was good as Bob Dole. And then he was good as Burt
Reynolds.
Reynolds. I thought he was good as Burt Reynolds, Bob Dole, nothing else. I think he was just, and I've yet to see, then the only other things I've seen him do is, I thought Weekend Update, he was horrific.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
And then the only other stuff I've seen him was when he was with, like in some Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of, he's
He,
not really anything.
Norm, I followed Norm's career for a long time. He got fired from SNL because he made too many OJ jokes. And the president of NBC was really good friends with OJ at the time. So he fired Norm because he didn't find Norm funny. I do find Norm funny. I don't find Norm funny on SNL.
Okay.
I do as Burt Reynolds, but how many times can you say Turd Ferguson? You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
or wear a giant hat or
yeah,
something.
and it seemed like it was the same thing every time. Norm used to have a show, and I've seen him do stand up before, which is odd. His stand up was very odd, very odd.
I could see
And
that.
the usher kept me and Terry from getting a picture with him. So I'll never forget that
Savage.
usher. Yes.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would agree with Colin Quinn. I would also put, for me, let's see, I've got a list over here. I didn't really care for Gilbert Godfrey on SNL. He was only on for one season,
Oh,
and
yeah, I forgot.
I didn't care for him on there